Hello everyone, my name is Ryan Cam, and that's that time of the month again. It's time for the Movie Nerds Club to assemble and talk about our top 5 animal movies. But before I get into my list, I think I'd like to introduce you all to someone. This is my cat. Her name is Lucy. Say hi. Lulu. Hey. Say hi. Oh. She doesn't like to be here. I think, Oh wait, there she looked. I'm gonna set her down now. We all are animal people, whether they be cat people, dog people, snake people. I've met some of them. Regardless, we all love animals, and today I'm gonna be celebrating my top 5 favorite animal movies. There is one bit of criteria that I should get out of the way first and foremost. There will be no animated movies on my list. That was agreed upon in the group, and I have a feeling that that will be a future list. Also, creature features like King Kong and other movies like that will be kept to a minimum, if not on the list at all. We're trying to keep things in kind of a realistic light, and well, let's just say there was a very entertaining argument, I want to say, between Mainly Movies and LC Screen Talk that I didn't see till after because I was working, but as I was reading through it, I was like, wait, what meeting did I miss? But with that out of the way, let's get into my honorable mentions. Big Miracle, We Bought a Zoo, Dolphin Tale, and both versions of Mighty Joe Young, the original from the 30s and the remake that was released in the 90s. I love all of those movies, but there are 5 that I love even more, so let's dig in. Number 5. 8 Below. Throughout the 2000s and even into the early 2010s, there was a string of live-action Disney movies that nobody talks about, and I think more people should. 8 Below is certainly counted among them. This was directed by Frank Marshall, a very well-known producer. He helped bring these movies to the big screen. And this is the story of Paul Walker, who has a team of sled dogs, and due to, well, a pretty big snowstorm in Antarctica, he has to abandon his camp and his beloved sled dogs. And this movie documents his quest to try and get back there and save the dogs that he loves very much. The plot of this movie is pretty familiar, I will say that. However, I do love this movie because they look like they use real dogs, unlike that stupid Call of the Wild movie, and Paul Walker is in it, and I just find him really likable. He's not the best actor ever, but I've always enjoyed any movie that he was in. He also has, in my opinion, his best bit of acting I've ever seen from him, where he is trying desperately to try and get back to the Antarctic to save his dogs, and the people are like, nope, can't do it. If they die, they die. And he's just like, those dogs are my family. We cannot just leave them there. I can't do the scene justice. It's really good. This is definitely underrated, especially in the sled dog movie genre, or subgenre. Number 4, War Horse. Speaking of underrated, and especially when it comes to Steven Spielberg, there are a crop of Spielberg movies, or movies that he had a hand in, that don't get talked about. Not because the movies are bad per se, but it's just because Spielberg has done so much in his career. Close Encounters, Jaws, Raiders, I could go on. And inherently there will be some that are forgotten because the top tier Spielberg are among some of the greatest movies ever made. And that goes double for War Horse. I thought this movie was just incredibly well made. It's split into 2 halves. The first half is about, well, a boy and his horse, and about how the family farm is about to be foreclosed on by a banker who is all too happy to do so, only for the horse to come along and, well, pretty much save the day. And the second half is all about, well, that horse is drafted into World War I and put under the care of a very young Benedict Cumberbatch. And the movie shows his journey from the Western Front back to his beloved owner. Even if you're not big into horse movies, I do recommend you watch this movie for the scene between the British soldier and the German soldier. If you've seen it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But if you haven't, I won't spoil it. But let's just say, my faith in humanity grew just a little bit when I saw that scene. And I could talk about this movie for days, but if you haven't seen it, go check it out. It's one of Spielberg's most underrated films. Number 3, Marley and Me. As I showed you earlier, I am very much a cat person. However, the closest I ever became to a dog person was after watching Marley and Me, because this movie is simultaneously funny and tragic, sometimes all at once. As he is billed, Marley is pretty much the world's worst dog. He eats answering machines, and he's pretty much a nuisance to his owners, John and Jenny Grogan. However, over time, the bond between these three is just fantastic, and the ending... wow, the ending to this movie is just heart-wrenching. That's all I can say. I won't spoil it, but if you've seen it, you know exactly what I'm talking about, and you're tearing up just thinking about it. I'll move on before this goes any further, or else I'll start crying. Number 2, Homeward Bound, The Incredible Journey. Speaking of underrated Disney, when it comes to, well, underrated live-action Disney, this ranks near or at the top of my list. I have seen this movie so many times, it's not even funny. It tells the story of a beagle, a golden retriever, and a Siamese cat who are all trying to get back home to their respective masters, and the epic journey that precedes it. The journey that these animals go on seems rather pedestrian to us humans, but to them, it's downright dangerous. I've seen a lot of horror movies, like my Scary Mania series should prove that. However, every time Sassy falls into the water, it just makes my heart go 200 miles an hour. This is just a straight-up dangerous movie, and the stunts that these animals have to do is just very admirable. Give them a raise, or an extra bone, but whatever. One of the animals, the beagle specifically, is voiced by Michael J. Fox, and the cat is voiced by Sally Field. So there's some pretty good voice talents in there. I also quite enjoy the sequel, Homeward Bound 2, Lost in San Francisco. However, there is only one incredible journey, and if you haven't seen it, go see it. And number 1, Life of Pi. I hate when critics say, see this movie on the biggest screen possible, because it's buzzwords, and I just hate buzzwords, I really do. But you really need to see Life of Pi on the biggest screen that you can afford, because this movie is just stunning to look at, from a variety of angles. Whether it's the beautiful horizons that you catch, or the sinking of the boat itself, and wow, that still isn't any less haunting. Also, give a gold star to Dev Patel, who just acts his butt off in this movie, and Irfan Khan as well. He's really good. And just the relationship between two elements, man being Pi, and the animal, the tiger, being Richard Parker, and you just have a situation where in any other circumstance there would be adversaries. However, they quickly recognize that they have to help each other, and help each other they do. This is at times a very difficult movie to watch. However, if you have not watched it, I can't recommend it enough. From a visual standpoint, it's incredible. It's also very well written, and there are many sequences where it's just so beautiful and terrifying all at once. Everybody talks about how Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon is Ang Lee's very best movie, and yeah, I can definitely see why that is, but don't discount Life of Pi. It's right up there among his creme de la creme. But that is all for me, guys. Thank you so much, as always, for watching. Please be sure to check out the rest of the Movie Nerds Club. Their videos will be linked in the description of this video. Seriously, I'm a big fan of all of these creators, so go support them. But as far as this channel goes, if you'd like to see the rest of my Movie Nerds Club videos, they'll be linked in the eye in the right-hand corner. Also, this coming Sunday, April 4th, Easter Sunday, it will be my big podcast with myself, Rachel over at Rachel's Reviews, and Durban over at the Durbania channel as we go into a deep dive on the Prince of Egypt. And I'm so looking forward to you all seeing that. But if you like this video, please be sure to leave a like, comment your thoughts down below, and if you like this video and you want to see more like it, hit the subscribe button and click the bell to allow notifications. That way, when a new video drops, you'll be the first to know about it. My name is Ryan Cam, and I'll see you in the next one.